What's up, YouTube? I'm Trevor. I'm a former collegiate runner, a coach, and a shoe fanatic. I've spent years in the running industry helping thousands of people find the right shoe for them. So my goal of this channel is to give you honest, simple, and to the point reviews of the latest and greatest running shoes. That means no gimmicks, no hype, just real insight from someone who's worn basically everything out there. So whether you're training for your first 5K or you're looking to rip another marathon, my goal is to help you find the right gear for your goals. So with that, good luck in your training, good luck in your races. I hope you guys enjoy the video. Meet the On Cloudsurfer MAX, the most cushioned shoe On has ever made. Swiss engineered style, tons of stack, plenty of On signature Helion foam. But does it deliver on comfort? Does it deliver on versatility? And does it stand up to On's mission of igniting the human spirit through movement? Let's find out. All right, y'all, let's get into the video. Today, we're gonna be reviewing the On Cloudsurfer MAX. So like I said earlier, I wanna keep things simple and easy for you guys to digest. I will get into some of more of the technical sides of the shoes later on in the video, but to get us going, I wanna just kind of give you the ideas of who the shoe's built for, how's it kind of feel, and what's it comparable to. So back in 2023, On came out with the On Cloud Eclipse, which was their first attempt at a max cushion shoe. A lot of these brands are introducing their mid and high cushion options and then having a max cushion shoe that they introduce later on. So with brands like Brooks, you've got the Glycerin Max. With New Balance, you've got 1080 as their high cushioned option, and then the More is their max cushion shoe. Asics does a good job with the Nova Blast as their mid to high cushion, the Nimbus as a high cushion, and then the Super Blast as a max cushion option. So they have these medium to high cushion shoes that are kind of the core of their lineups, and then they introduce, as Nike likes to call it, their premium shoes, which are just gonna have a little more of a stack, some more cushion to them, maybe a bit of that easier feel on the body. And that's the whole point with this shoe. If someone's looking for a shoe that's gonna give them the support they want for some of those longer runs and those easier runs, something that's gonna take away from your body, especially if you're running on concrete or asphalt and you're really pounding your knees and your lower back. A lot of the times these shoes are built to give you that shock absorption that you want, so that instead of your body taking that beating, the shoe's gonna take the brunt of that for you. So like I mentioned earlier, this is the new version of the Cloud Eclipse. And with that, there are some improvements to the shoe. The Eclipse had that stiff speed board that was built into the base of the shoe. And over time, it was making a lot of noise and squeaking on people. And if there's one thing I can't stand is when a shoe squeaks on me. Sounds like that one SpongeBob episode. But On, being the innovative company that they are, they heard those grievances. And with the new Surfer Max, they've taken that speed board out and they've doubled up on their Cloud Tech phase and the Helion Superfoam. And with that, you would think this is going to be a shoe that's extremely soft and responsive, but compared to the previous model in the Eclipse, it's not gonna be as soft. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. The Surfer Max, in my opinion, is a shoe that is going to be easier to get into some of your faster runs in. It's not necessarily, of course, a workout shoe, but if you're doing a progressive long run and you want to pick up the pace, this is a shoe that's going to give you the shock absorption and the comfort you want, yet be easier to transition from an easy to faster pace. Comparably to some of these other brands, those shoes are really soft and squishy and they feel great while you're on your run, but if you try to pick up the pace in those shoes, it can be a little more difficult. You're having to use more energy, but with the Surfer Max, you're not getting that much of that squish. That heel to toe transition is nice on the foot. So we touched on the Cloud Tech base with the Helion Superfoam, but let's get into some of the actual details and specs behind the shoe. Weighing in at 292 grams or about 10.3 ounces. It's not the heaviest shoe on the market. It's not the lightest either. It's a lot of shoes, so you do expect to have some of that weight added on, but it's not gonna affect you if you're taking it out on your long runs. Looking at the base of the shoe, you're gonna have your rubber pods that are gonna be strategically put to give you some grip on those heels and those toes. They do have that cutout in the midfoot area to kind of reduce some of that weight, but be wary of rocks and crushed gravel. You may catch a few of those in your shoe while you're on your run. The upper is going to have that fly knit style to give you that breathability. We've got a thin tongue that's also gusseted, so it's gonna hold that foot into place. It is a roomier shoe, so if you have a very narrow foot, you may find that there's some more room in the toe box area. But for the most part, with that padded heel on the back, you get a pretty secure, locked in feeling. This is a taller shoe. We're coming in at a 37 millimeter heel with a 31 millimeter forefoot. So that's that 6 millimeter drop that On likes to do for a lot of their shoes. Some are in that 8 range, some are in that 10, but this is gonna sit right at that 6. So similar to like the Monster and the Surfer Next, all of those are gonna be in that 6 millimeter range. So getting into some of the pros and the cons of the shoe, to me, this is one of the better looking shoes on the market. I think On does a great job with their designs and their color schemes are always vibrant. This green looks nice. I would definitely run in it, but I can see myself also wearing it as a like casual everyday shoe. I know a lot of people do like to wear the Ons to the gym and just out and about. The upper is a nice locked in feeling. You have some room on the toe box, which is always nice to kind of have your feet spread out, especially in the heat of summer when your foot is tending to swell a little bit on those runs. Having that extra room is good for you. However, this kind of leads me into some of those cons. If you're looking for, you know, a really soft cushioned shoe, like a lot of the Max cushion shoes out there are kind of marketed as, this is not necessarily going to be the shoe for you. It's pretty firm compared to some of those other options. You know, looking back at the Eclipse, it's not going to be as soft as the Eclipse was. Price point wise, we're looking at $180, so it is more expensive than some of those traditional $140 to $160 range shoes, but if you've got money to spend, this could definitely be an option for you. And although On has done their best to try to mitigate the squeaking issue, taking out that speed board from the Eclipse, there is always the risk of this brand to having that squeaking come back, especially as you kind of build into some of your mileage in the shoe. So be wary of that. Also with the cutout on the bottom, like I mentioned, you do have the possibility of getting some rocks and some gravel stuck in there, but I don't see that as too much of an issue. It shouldn't happen too often. All right, y'all, let's get into kind of wrapping things up and break down who this shoe is built for again. If you're someone that's looking for a responsive and cushioned shoe for your easy to longer runs, this is a great option. If looks and feel are your biggest factors when you're buying a shoe, then this shoe should feel like Cloud 9, no pun intended.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
As I mentioned, it's easier to do some of your faster progressive long runs in. So if you want to use it as that versatile shoe, it's not necessarily a workout shoe, but it will really give you that support and have that transition that you're looking for. So overall, the Cloudsurfer MAX definitely delivers on the comfort and the stability of the shoe, and it's got that unique style that On has produced that's very popular, but make sure to manage your expectations. It's not gonna be as soft and as squishy as some of these Max cushion shoes from other brands are. But overall, I say it's definitely a great Max trainer for you and something you should definitely try out. If you made it this far, I do appreciate you guys tuning in. I hope you enjoyed the review. If you have your own opinions on the shoe, if there's other shoes you want to see me review, or if there's just things that you guys think I could do better, please leave a comment down below. It helps me out. Like most of the YouTubers say, liking and subscribing definitely does go a long way. But with that, I hope you guys continue staying healthy, your training's going well, make sure you're doing the little things, drinking enough, getting enough sleep, doing your stretches. But I'll see you guys in the next video.